Hello everybody and welcome back to Modded Minecraft, coming to you from the KerPOWCraft Age of Heroes server. We are here continuing where we left off. Last episode we did this wonderful greenhouse here. I still really don't like that roof at all, but the greenhouse itself is working wonderfully. We go ahead and come inside here. We can see all the crops that we have planted. We have one full wheat, one full carrot, and one full soybean as per Stith's request. To use the soybeans, you can put those in a compressor to make them into tofu meat instead of having to have animals. And we have a whole bunch of different crops in all the rest of these, everywhere from tomatoes and lettuce to corn to strawberries to cotton to everything else we could possibly think of. Or at least everything else we had on hand to plant. Now, in addition to that, I went ahead and came around the side over here and planted a whole bunch of maple syrup trees. So we can actually use that to make ourselves some maple syrup waffles or pancakes and whatnot. Whole bunch of good stuff. I'm just going to go ahead and trash that for now. And one thing I have been working on is underneath the greenhouse here, I have been emptying out all of this and putting down the spruce wood, and I stopped that. I didn't complete this because I realized what I had planned for this area, I would have to tear up all this spruce wood, and I'm going to have to tear up a whole lot of this spruce wood that I already have down here. And I'll show you why, in that we're going to be making little pens here, coming right off the posts there and connecting to this post and then going all the way down. We're going to put in a total of 8 on this side and 8 on that side to begin with. So let's go ahead and get that done real quick. And then with the magic of video editing, and voila, with the magic of video editing, there we go. We have all 8 pens over here and over there. And what we're going to, like I was saying, we're going to put all the different colors of sheep in these. We're going to have 6 sheep per pen. And we're actually going to put the sheep wool carpet on the edges of these fence posts as a way to get in and out. I'm not going to actually have fence gates. But first, before I can do all that, we got to take out all of this spruce wood. And we're going to put in some regular dirt. And then we got to do the fun stuff. And what I mean by the fun stuff is we're going to have to pull the grass from up here all the way down there. We have to walk it down. Because unfortunately, we don't have silk touch as of yet. So we're going to grab some regular dirt to start with. And we're just going to, like I said, we just got to pull it down. So we'll just put a thing there. And then just start taking it down with us all the way to the bottom. The grass will eventually spread all the way down here. And all the way over into this first penned up area. And then from this one, we'll go ahead and spread it all the way down and all the way over as well. So let me get this set up to spread on in and get all of that spruce pulled up, and I'll get back. All right, so that's all set for the grass to go ahead and come on down and spread all around down here. You can see it's already started coming down a bit on this side and on this side. It's working its way down. So as the grass works its way down, it's going to come over here. It's going to come through all these 8 smaller pens on this side and then get to these 3 bigger ones here. What these 3 bigger pens are going to be for is the other animals. We're going to have the pigs, we're going to have the cows, we're going to have the chickens, and then we'll also have even more sheep in the middle here. 2 reasons for that. 1, if you need some extra wool to color and use, you can get it from here. And 2, we'll be using it for when we need to kill the animals to get mutton, we'll be using that. And I like having this little anti-chamber type thing here. that is to be used so that when you do come in here, these animals won't escape when you come inside. We're going to have another fence gate here and here just in case. That's the kind of thing that we do. Now, with all that going, let's go ahead and while we wait for the grass, we're going to spruce this place up a little bit. First thing we're going to do is at every intersection of the fences here, we're going to go ahead and throw in another oak post going up. So let me go ahead and do that all the way around, and let's see what we can come up with. Alright, that's looking better to me, but I still think we could do a bit more here. And that is, in these open areas, I think we could use some cross beams going across like this. Oh, not quite like that. But following that beam all the way across. And then we can even highlight that a little bit more by, say, using some cobblestone stairs, I think. So even though we got the beam going across, I think we could use some cobblestone stairs. So let's go ahead and make a couple of those. I still have all these chests just sitting over here from taking down that mountain. So let's grab a thing of cobblestone. Actually, let's grab two. Let's make ourselves some cobblestone stairs. And what I mean by highlighting this just a little bit more down below at the cobblestone is to go ahead and use it as a support part right in the corners like that. So now it's like helping keep that beam there. I think that makes a world of difference. The only problem is on these small parts where we only have 3 across, it might be a little bit too much. Well, nope, I guess that still works. And we're only going to do that going across long ways. I don't want to do that going across in the middle here, because like I said, this is going to be the area where we're going to jump over into the pen to shear the sheep. If I do those on the corners here, it's really going to limit our ability to jump through here, which we don't want to do. So we're going to leave those out. So we're just going to go across ways to get this done. So let me go ahead and throw all these cross beams in and all these supports in, and let's see what it looks like from there. Okay, so I went a little bit above and beyond and even brought in some slabs here and there, kind of break things up a little bit so there's not so much wood and whatnot. And I even put slabs over these double areas, the 2 block areas. We kept the 3 or more blocks to have the stairs, 2 or less to have the slabs. Didn't quite do them all, but we did a lot of them. And now really all we gotta wait for is just this grass to finish spreading all throughout this place. And then we can actually come back here and get the animals in and whatnot. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next project that I want to get finished today. And that has to deal with all that stuff right there. We have all this thermodynamics, power generation, and wow, the animals are loud. But as I was saying, we have the thermodynamics, power generation, along with all of the ability to smelt ores and whatnot, and all of this stuff. And this right here looks ugly to me. Just having this sitting out here looks ugly. Having this just sitting here looks ugly. We're going to take down the cactus farm and we're going to take down all of this stuff. But we need a place to put it first. So that's why up here on top of this hill right here, we're going to go ahead. You sound so creepy. Grove Sprite, you just sound creepy. But on top of this hill right here, we're going to go ahead and build ourselves a powerhouse. And my thoughts on how to arrange this, we're going to go into a creative mode, creative world, and see if we can arrange that exactly how I think we can. All right, so here we are in a creative test world that I have and have been using very little so far. But the thought I had on what to do with the thermodynamics all starts with this power pipe in the middle. And everything is going to be centered around this power pipe. And it all starts with having these dynamos at the bottom here are all pointing into this power pipe. Now what do the dynamos need? The dynamos need lava, so they got to bring the lava down. So first we're going to go ahead and put these fluid ducts between them. And then on top of the fluid ducts is where we put our portable tanks here. And now the thing is, I want the lava to be equalized between all the tanks. So once again, we put the fluid ducts in here to go between the tanks. Now we don't need those fluid ducts connecting into the crucibles. Or, better yet, we'll just take out these ducts down here. So now it should hopefully equalize how much lava is in each tank and provide liquid to the dynamos. Now on top of that, we need to get lava into the tanks. And that's where the crucibles come into play at. So we'll go ahead and put the crucibles on each one of these. And that should go into the tanks. Now on top of that, we need to get netherrack into the crucibles, which is where the item ducts come into play at. So we go ahead and throw those between each of them here. And then I also want to have chests on top of those. And we want to do, or I want to do a round robin thing with the chests, which is as we have items in the chests, not only do they go down, they also go between the chests themselves to try to equalize everything that way as well. And so what do we need here? We need servos to pull items down from the chests. We have to disable the redstone signal on each of those. Then we also need the dynamos going between the chests. And so everything's going to flow in the same direction here from the left to the right. So let's just get all those in. Now the crucibles should all be hooked up to power in the middle, which they are there. And so the dynamos are there, the crucibles are there, everything is there. Let's go ahead and start with throwing in a whole bunch of netherrack. And all that should be going around and down into the crucibles. Except that I just realized we don't want that one there. So taking those out should keep everything going around, and then as the chests get items, they should go down into the crucibles. We need to go ahead and get some lava in here to begin things with, to go ahead and get the crucibles working. So we'll just fill some of these up. And then we have to change it to, instead of input, to be output. So output to the dynamos themselves. Except they're not outputting to the dynamos. I can put lava in the dynamo. Dynamo is running now, but they're not taking in the lava. So let's see if we can put this here, or out. There we go. So that is taking it out, but once again, it's not going to be going round robin. So I gotta take that one away. And let's see if we can't get this going round robin here. With a servo here. And let's just do that all the way around. Okay. Yep, there we go. That's flashing. Everything should be going around, and it's not really equalizing, is it? Or maybe it is. No, it's not really equalizing. Well, that's interesting. And we're not even loading up the crucibles. All right, so this whole idea, this is not working how I wanted it to. So I gotta go ahead and revisit this. So let me try something else. So I tried another design here, and this is working for the most part. It's been running for a little bit, so it's got the tanks filled up, it's got the dynamos running. The only problem with this design is that if we watch the netherrack coming through the pipe here, it goes to the second one, it goes to the third one, it goes to the first one, but for some reason it just won't go to that top one, and I have to constantly refill this one. So unfortunately this design won't work either, and really I don't like it because it's got the chest sticking out anyways. So finally I said, okay, let me go ahead and make myself what would be considered like a basement here and set things up a little differently. And as you can see here, we have the 4 dynamos here that are getting lava through this pipe. So I may have to try to redesign this, but for the most part this is working. This chest is able to put the netherrack in all 4 of the crucibles here. The crucibles are generating that into lava through this pipe, going around into these tanks, tanks coming out to the dynamos providing power to this bank of batteries, and then this bank of batteries providing power back to the crucibles to go ahead and do what they need to do. So they're full on power. They're only taking 40 RF per tick. These are generating 40 RF per tick. So everything is pretty much exactly equivalent here before doing any kind of upgrades. So it's maintaining itself. And now we're going to do some upgrades in this as well, where we're going to upgrade these dynamos to have a higher output with these right here. The all-mounted auxiliary transmission coils. It increases the output. So that will bring it up so that they're providing more power than the crucibles are taking. Crucibles, we're also going to upgrade them as well so that they have the specializations here. They greatly increase lava production speed. Requires more energy, but we're going to be having more energy coming out. So it's actually going to make up for itself, and eventually it will fill up all of these batteries and everything will be ready. So let's go ahead and hop back on over to the server and let's start the construction of our little powerhouse that we're going to have with all this in the basement. And then on the next floor up is where we're going to put all the pulverizers and everything. So let's hop on back into that. So we're back, and winter time is upon us here on the server, and that little hill that I was talking about, it was a little bit too small to be doing this build on top of, so I shaved it down a little bit. I took out all the contraptions we had here and took out the cactus farm for where we're going to go ahead and put this down at. I think this area is going to be just about perfect. Went ahead and marked out a few things that are going to be going on here. And well, this is going to be the main part here. So what do you say we go ahead and take this down about 5 blocks so we can go ahead and start working on this basement. But before we do that, I want to come back over here and grab some stone blocks here. I want to grab 4 of those, and I want to go ahead and use our little eye chisel that I made here. Since we have chisel on the server, let's go ahead and open that up, throw those in there, and we can see that we have a couple variants of stone blocks that I really want to use. We have the chiseled stone, which put that to a single block. Looks all right. We have the mossy, which I definitely want to use. We have the cracked, which I definitely want to use. So let's go ahead and make those into the cracked. Let's make some of the mossy. And do we have anything else? Well, we have the regular stone, which is definitely good. And finally, let's end with... Well, we're using regular stone. Let's do another regular stone. So we have 2 regular stone, a mossy and a cracked. That's gonna that's gonna provide enough block variation on this. So let's go ahead, dig out this basement, and come on back. And so there we go. We have our little basement here done. Apparently, there's something in the mod pack for the combined textures to go ahead and make the floor look broken up and cracked, like a cracked stone has been used down there. I still put in the cracked stone myself nonetheless. And what's going to be on the outside here, right here, is going to be like a little cellar door entrance to get to the basement here. Went ahead, threw in the mossy. I love how this has turned out and is looking, but now I think it's time for us to get our power generation back down in here. And all gonna start over here with our crucibles once again. You know what? I've already gone through what all this is. So let me go ahead and get the power generation back in here, and then I'll come on back. Alright, so after a little bit, I finally got the power set up in the basement here, and I just had to make a quick comment that everybody that knows me, everybody that knows who I am, knows that I hardly ever do anything in moderation. That is to say that when I do something, I go full board into it. And that even includes the power generation down here. Now, some of you might be sitting there saying, oh, I'm sure he probably just doubled the power generation. Well, we quadrupled it. Thanks to help from Stithis and Green Oz, we all came in here, they helped me out a little bit here and there, and we got this whole thing set up so that I crank out 4 times as much power as what I was doing before. What that means is that a normal energy cell, an unupgraded energy cell, I believe holds 1000 RF. These 8 energy cells each are holding 32 million RF. So we have 256 million RF at our disposal when these are fully charged to do what we want with. So crucibles are fully upgraded. Well, not fully upgraded. Everything is close to fully upgraded. If we come in here and take a look at thermal, you can see that we have anywhere from, so this would be a tier 2 upgrade, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5. Everything, all the machines start at tier 1. We are all the way up to tier 4 on all the machines. Not quite tier 5 yet on everything down here. This is a lot of upgrades. This was a lot of work to do, but we're there. Everything is upgraded. Everything is awesome. Everything's good to go. I put in a couple of these drops here and there because that is where they're going to come up from underneath the floor at. Now, I just put those in here for reference right now. They're not necessarily going to be where we're going to put something, but we can. So, speaking of floor, let's go ahead and get the floor in here. Alright, so with that floor in, that means it's time for us to go ahead and move on to the next part of this, which is, since this is going to be pretty much a blacksmith type house, we're inside here, we're going to do all the working with metals and stone and everything. This little area here is going to be like the blacksmithing area, and for this, we need a bit of, to say, a forge or a place with a nice big fireplace. So we're going to go ahead and start on that. So this entire wall is still going to remain stone going up. Everything else will probably be changed to wood. Not entirely sure yet, but we will see in a moment. And I just realized not only do I need brick stairs, I also need some brick slabs. So let me go ahead and make some quick slabby jabbies here. And let's go with 12. And that's going to start off with somewhere like right here is where we're going to put the fire, right? So if we go ahead and take that brick out, it's not really going to be seen too much. Well, it is going to be seen. So let's put that one back. Let's take out this for the fire. Let's go ahead and put our netherrack there, because right once we light netherrack, it will never go out. And so around that is where we're going to start putting down like a fireplace. Now, for the actual fireplace itself, I think we're going to need bricks here to go in front of this and around the side. Now, that's not going to let us see the fire very well. And I'm not really sure how much I like that, but let's go ahead and throw in these down here so that you'll be able to step up, see the fire probably better. And we'll go ahead and seal that in with the iron bars here. Iron bars. So that's going to be sealed in there, and then it's on the sides. We'll go ahead and start coming up so that it is nice and safe. And then we got to go ahead and do the rest of the chimney chute itself. So I'm going to get in this wall of stone around this. Actually, you know what? We're going to go with wood on that. We're going to go ahead and put the wood in here. And what kind of wood are we going to use? I'm not entirely sure as of yet. We do have lots of spruce. We have a little bit of fir. And of course, we have some birch. The fir is a little bit grayer. I don't quite think we're going to use that. I think we may need to actually grow some oak trees and use those. Let's go to our little tower over there and see exactly what other kinds of wood we got. Okay, so in here you can see we still have more fir and more birch. We have this greenish willow wood. I'm not really interested in using anything green. We have this reddish redwood. I'm not really sure how that ends up looking like on planks. We'll have to check it out. We still have more oak here. We have this cherry wood from the cherry blossom trees. So let's take a quick look here. The redwood definitely looks very reddish. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be one I want to use. I think oak wood is probably going to be the best. And the cherry wood is, God, it's even more red than the other one. I say this is more like a dull orange, close to red. That's definitely a higher red. So I think we're going to go ahead and go with the oak here. There's no need to look at the green of the willow wood, except, you know, we'll still take a look at it. Let's see just how green this looks. And yeah, that's definitely swampish green. So we're going to go ahead with the oak and use that. However, it is nighttime. People want to sleep, so let me sleep real quick. We'll get the walls up and I'll be right back. Alright, I believe I got this fireplace looking how I want it to, with 3 bits of fire you can see from the outside. And then if we go ahead and go around to the inside, you only get to see 1 bit of fire in the middle there. I think that is going to work out well for what I want to do. Now, out here, as I was talking about, this is going to be a little blacksmithing area. So now we got to actually make it look like a bit of a blacksmithing area. And it's going to start with these smooth stone slabs going all the way over here, along with over here. So we got 2 on either side of the fireplace itself here, or the forge on the outside. And we're going to go ahead and bring it all the way to this point. So these little bits of wood here are no longer needed. So let's go ahead and get that filled in and come on back. All right, so there we have the basic blacksmith area outlined here on the bottom. We're going to go ahead and start on the roof here. Just wanted to come back real quick and let you know what this is looking like here at the moment. And this roof, we're going to slowly slant it upward until it meets up with the chimney here and goes around it. So let me go ahead and do that. All right, I am really liking how this is starting to turn out. It's starting to look a lot more blacksmithy, except for something is definitely missing. And that is an anvil here. And something I want to do is, one, take out that brick, and then right there, we're going to go ahead and put down a piece of log. Let's go ahead and grab a little bit more fir again. That does seem to be the tree that is around the most here. So we're going to go ahead and throw that down, and I do happen to have an anvil right here that I did have to use earlier. We're going to go ahead and throw that down right in that spot. So we have an old-timey working anvil, and wow, that is really sits up there. I didn't think that was going to sit up there that high. So we got to push all this down one. So let's go ahead and take that anvil back. Let's take that piece of wood back, and let's take out that one bit of dirt. And what do you say we go ahead and put that wood back down, and then the anvil on top of that. All right, that looks a whole lot better. A little low, but that's okay. We go ahead, we work the forge, turn around, hammer it on the anvil. And a butterfly is going in and out of the water. So there we go. That's pretty much what we're going to stop with here at the moment. I need to go ahead and get the outer frame done for the house itself here. I went ahead and put up the walls all over the place so we can see what it's going to be like on the inside. At least the initial look. We're still going to change this up. We're going to take out some of these walls. We're going to put in some windows and whatnot. But first, I need to get that frame going around. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, so I'm looking at this, and you know what? I don't like the wooden walls. I think we should switch those up for stone. So with the power of video editing, all right, now that I like a whole lot better. That looks good. And we'll do the second floor in wood. We have stone on bottom, wood on top. It would be a whole lot better. But before I can do that, I need to get me more oak because I ran out. So let's go find ourselves some oak. Alright, so there we go. We started with the wood on the second floor for the oak, and then started working on a birch roof, and unfortunately, I think that birch roof is a little bit too light of color. I think we're going to have to switch over to a spruce roof, the darker color that we got over here. I think the darker color looks a whole lot better. So, we're going to go ahead and switch that out, and possibly switch out the oak for birch to see how that looks with a brighter color. And so the outside of our powerhouse is just about done, our powerhouse slash blacksmith. There's only one small thing I want to do to finish this off, and that is with this kind of slanted roof here over the blacksmithing area, I want to do the same thing to our little cellar entrance here. So let's go ahead and grab our walls and fence posts. And let's go ahead and throw those together. So I accidentally throw one right next to me. And then let's go ahead and work on getting this roof in. We're going to go ahead and continue using our spruce slabs, although it looks like I'm out of slabs there. So we got to make a little bit more. Let's make a couple more slabs to go along with that, and then let's go ahead and work on getting that up and over. I need a little bit of dirt to scaffold with. Then we're going to do pretty much the same thing we did over there, except we're going to go 3 and then 3 more. And hopefully that'll take us pretty close. Pretty much. That's all that we want. At least that's all that I want. Just a quick small roof, just like that. And one more there to connect it up. So let me go ahead, get that in. And then we're going to come back and actually put some of the machines inside. And let's get this thing actually up and working. Alright, so I removed all the floor around the outer edge where we have the piping. The only place I removed it by accident was right here. Those 2 spots don't have piping, and chances are we're not going to be putting anything in the corner over here. We don't have to worry about that. So this wall and this little bit is what we have to work with as far as energy wise. And everything starts with the the pulverizer. That is our main tool to be used. We're going to go ahead and throw that one right there and make sure to connect up the power to it, just like so. Now we're going to put a normal chest to one side, and we're going to put our diamond chest on the other. The reason for that, diamond chest holds a lot. Regular chest doesn't really hold all that much, but as we come in here and throw things in here, we're going to make sure to configure this to pull from that side and exit on the other side. So now if we have some iron that we got here, we can go ahead and throw that in there. It should automatically come into the pulverizer. Except it's not. I guess we do have to pipe it. So, all right, let's go ahead and switch this up real quick. We'll take the pulverizer back. We'll take the diamond chest back. And we'll take back that power plug. Or at least we'll just let it fall down there. So, try this again. Pulverizer is right there. So, put the pulverizer one over. Then we'll put the diamond chest one over. Then we'll go ahead and hook up these item ducts. From there and there. And let's go ahead and put a servo on this chest. And put the redstone signal to disabled so it automatically sucks out. There it goes. Just went across. Pulverizing it. And then outputs right across it. So right there. So we have our pulverized iron and the secondary pulverized nickel. The reason for the secondary is that if you look at the upgrades, we have secondary output increase. So we have an increased chance of getting the secondary product, which for iron was pulverized nickel. So that's the first set of machines. Now the next one is going to be the redstone furnace. And we're going to set that one up pretty much the exact same way as the previous one. Where we have the chest, we're going to have the item duct, then we're going to have the furnace itself, then item duct, and then diamond chest for the output. And once again, we use a servo here. And we go ahead and disable the redstone, and we'll take that iron that we just made and we'll go ahead and put that right in here. We should see it go across just like so. Gets into the furnace. Furnace starts to burn it. And we didn't configure the output. Like so. We should see it go across, and there it is. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and set up all the machines in here and probably change a couple configurations here because this is taking up a lot of wall space to do this. I kind of want to squeeze it down a little bit. So let me go ahead and work on this and we'll come right back. Okay, so this is the last bit, and as far as we're going to go with this today, we have all the major machines in here. It turns out you can put the diamond chest right next to it and configure the output, and that works. But as far as the intake, you gotta add a item duct here to bring the items in. So we have our pulverizer, we have our redstone furnace, we have our induction smelter. I didn't bother putting an intake in this one because mainly how we use it is with 2 items to create one. So I didn't want to bother with that, and yeah, we gave it a iron chest to go along with it. We have the compactor here. Once again, didn't bother with the intake because this is very selectively used. That is, it's really only used for creating plates and a couple other things. You can put in, make it easy to make gears and plates and whatnot. Can make coins with it as well, but I don't know if we're actually going to go that route for anything. But it is here if needed. Then on the other side, we have our fluid transposer to take our experience out of our tome of knowledge and put it into a tank. And we have another magma crucible that is fully updated, except I gotta take that out and replace it with another reception coil. And that is, we're going to use this one for doing things like redstone and whatnot into destabilized redstone or other liquids. Like the petroleum dust into the tectonic petroleum. That kind of thing. So there's all of our major machines. And now with all that done, it's time to go see if we can get our animals into the bottom of the glass house there, the greenhouse. Let's go see if that grass has spread all the way down. So I am not surprised that all the grass has finished growing in down here. After all, we spent a lot of time working on that powerhouse. So there's been a lot of time for the grass to spread, and it has spread all throughout the bottom here, and I like the fact that it brings in quite a bit of color. So now let me go ahead and get all the animals down here. Well, unfortunately, it looks like someone came by and went and either took or killed a bunch of my sheep for me already. So unfortunately, I got all these guys down here that I have to spend time and get more sheep again before we can separate them out into their separate cages for the different dyes. But that's something I can work on off camera and whatnot. Things I can do that I don't have to necessarily do right away. But other than that, I got all the animals down here, the sheep, the cows, the chickens, the pigs, everybody's all set. Now it's just spending time to... I forgot to seal that up. Now it's just spending time to get them all to have babies and start getting more meat. And so with all that, we are finally done with today's episode. Took a little bit longer than I expected, but at least we're done. The only thing is that in next episode, we're going to do KerPOW's challenge. You saw his episode. He has set down a challenge for the players to go rescue Busty Betty. I would highly suggest going to look at his video and finding out exactly what's going on. You can find a link to his channel over in the right hand side of mine. So go over there, take a look, see what the challenge is, and we'll be doing that together with a couple other people on the server next time. So until then, everybody, take care, be well, and I hope to see you again shortly.